Kununa syat upayuvatra yenaham sarvadehinam antah pravishya satatam bhaveyam dukkha bharavak. O Lord, is there any way that I can enter the hearts of all human beings and carry their sufferings and save them from pain and worries and anxieties? Lord, is there any way? Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This verse from the Bhagavatam. This morning our subject is Ramakrishna Mission 125th anniversary. We are observing this anniversary of Ramakrishna Mission. It was started by Swami Vivekananda on May 1st, 1897. So last month, 1st May, was the completion of 100 years. Ramakrishna was born in 1836, passed away in 1886. He lived 51 years. He has been accepted and recognized as an avatar, incarnation of God, like Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus. These avatars, these incarnations come with a mission. To fulfill the needs of that age. Rama came to establish the truth. Krishna taught dharma. Buddha taught ahimsa, non-violence, love, compassion. Christ also taught love, compassion, service to humanity. There is a verse in the Vishnu Purana. Swadharma karma vimukha Krishna Krishna iti vadino te harir deshino mura dharmartham janmayate harihi. Swadharma karma vimukha. There are some people, they do not practice religion. They do not do right. But they say God, God, God. They are hypocrites. They are enemies of God. To demonstrate religion, God incarnates to teach them what is real dharma, how to practice religion. So these people force God to come from above to this earth to demonstrate how to practice religion. So they come with a mission. Buddha is the first missionary religion in the world which is spread through love and compassion. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya. For the good of the many and for the welfare of all. That is Buddha's words. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya. For the happiness of many, for the good of all. He started his mission. During Buddha's time, India full of monasteries and convents. Actually, Buddhism spread this through the monastics, these activities in his mission. When Buddha was at deathbed, his disciple, Ananda, asked, Master, when you will die, who will teach us? Buddha replied, Vinaya. There are 3 scriptures in Buddhism, Sutta Pichaka, Vinaya Pichaka, Abhidhamma Pichaka. In the Vinaya Pichaka, Pichaka means a basket full of teachings. That is called Pichaka in Pali language. So Vinaya Pichaka, where Buddha put all rules, regulations of the monastics. Buddha said, I have set forth and laid down for all, let them be your teacher. My teachings will be my teacher. I may die. In Christ also we find he empowered his disciples. After Christ's resurrection, the Pentecost descended on the disciples. They were trying to show various kinds of miracles. That also, the compassion, friendship, and humility. Jesus' disciples spread their master's mission. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, cast out demons. Freely you receive, freely you give. What a beautiful message. You got these teachings, spirit, freely you give. That's a beautiful message of Jesus. Then we come to Sri Ramakrishna. First compassion, vision, mission. It was in 1884. Sri Ramakrishna was seated on his cot in the Dakshineshwar temple garden, in his room. And the devotees are talking about practice of Vaishnava religion, Vaishnavism. Dear Chaitanya told his main disciple, Sanatan, Jivedaya name ruchi Vaishnava sevan, iha bina dharma nai shunna Sanatan. Sanatan, listen. These 3 things are vital in my religion. Jivedaya, compassion to the people. Name ruchi, getting the taste, chanting the name of God. Vaishnava sevan, serve the devotees of God. These 3 things are vital in Vaishnavism, Chaitanya's religion. Sri Ramakrishna listened. But Jivedaya, that word, he did not like. He did not approve. Jivedaya, compassion. Compassion to the people. Who are you? You are an insignificant, ordinary human being. How can you show compassion to others? Only God can show compassion. Then Sri Ramakrishna interpreted that Jivedaya. How? He says Jivedaya no. Shiva Gyane Jivo Seva. It is not serving human beings out of compassion. It is worshipping human beings as God. That was Sri Ramakrishna's interpretation of Vaishnavism. This word, this message is the main focus of the Ramakrishna mission. Sri Ramakrishna Swamiji was present in that meeting. He came out when the master's talk was over. He came out from the room and outside he told his brother disciples, today I got a new light from the words of the master. In future, I shall try to implement this great message of the master. Do you know what does it mean? That is practical Vedanta. Practical Vedanta, how Vedantic teachings can be implemented in our day-to-day life. That is the basis of the Ramakrishna mission. We shall talk about it more, about that philosophy. Sometimes we see two words, Ramakrishna Math, Ramakrishna mission. What is the difference? Math is a place where monks and devotees pray, meditate, they worship, they study the scriptures. Atmannoti, improvement of the self, inner self. That is the function of the math. And mission, external, philanthropic activities. Hospitals, educational institutions, publications, that is mission. It is just Christianity. We find Martha way, Mary way. Mary way, devotion, love for God. Martha way, action. Contemplative life, active life. That is the way we, in Christianity, we find Martha way, Mary way. Same thing. A Ramakrishna Math is the Mary way. Ramakrishna mission, Martha way. You know, sometimes we see how these great teachers, their teachings, reconciled, their teachings, how they are compatible, how they come together. Now, to organize or not to organize. After Swami Vivekananda, after Ramakrishna's passing away, Swamiji traveled all over India, came to America in July 1893 to represent Hinduism or Vedanta at the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. Swamiji's first host was Mr. and Mrs. Lyon in Chicago. They had sugar plantation in the south, very rich people. It was arranged that all these different delegates will be taken care of by different distinguished people in this Chicago city. So Swamiji got chance in this family. Anyhow, so Mrs. Lyon was very impressed. Mr. Lyon also very impressed. They are thinking, he's Indian heathen, but he's very nice, intelligent person. So they really like Swamiji very much. Her daughter-in-law, Cornelia Conga, wrote a long reminiscences. You can read it in the reminiscences of Vivekananda. But how Swamiji lived with them. Anyhow. One day Swamiji told Mrs. Lyon, I have had one of the greatest temptations of life. Temptation. So Mrs. Lyon teased Swamiji. Who is that woman? Who is she, Swamiji? Swamiji burst into laughter. He said, Madam, it is not a woman. It is your organization. I am so much impressed seeing this organizing capacity of the American people. Fantastic. Your organization is very, very important. So, that is the reason your society flourish. You see, Vedanta was never an organized religion. It was a religion of the mendicants, monks, traveling. Never an organized religion. Christianity, very organized. Organized religions have some defects. First, politics. Second, power struggle. Third, corruption. Fourth, commercialism. Always remember, these organizations are man-made. All the defects of human beings go to the organization. So, to protect this organization, Swamiji made the Belur Math rule book, how to protect the organization. Now, what happened? Swamiji had a great dilemma in Thousand Island Park. Sister Christine was there in 1895 on the bank of the St. Lawrence River. Swamiji was there for retreat for 7 weeks. To organize or not to organize? Swamiji was talking loudly by him. Organize or not to organize? If I organize, the spirit will diminish. And if I do not organize, the message will not spread. Look, Swamiji knew the whole history of the world. Christianity, Buddhism, all these religions, history, all are on his fingers. He knew how the organization declines. So what happened? He organized. 2 days, after 2 days, he left Thousand Island Park, came to Chicago, in New York, he wrote a letter. Neither numbers, nor powers, nor wealth, nor learning, nor eloquence, nor anything else will prevail, but purity, living the life in one word, anubhuti, realization. Let there be a dozen such lion souls in each country, lions who have broken their own bonds, who have touched the infinite, whose whole souls are gone to Brahman, who care neither for wealth, nor power, nor fame, nor these will be enough to shake the world. He was selecting that my organization, what kind of organization, what kind of people I must get to carry this mission. Organization. Do you know the problem? One man can not do a big, very big things which will go to posterity, will go ages. Not possible. You need organization, fresh supply of the monks, so that this organization will continue. That I sometimes say, here in St. Louis, Swami may come, Swami may go, but Ramakrishna is the permanent residence here. We are all with visa, with green card holders. Ramakrishna is the permanent residence. I shall die, this person will die, but this center will carry Ramakrishna's mission. Swamiji arrived in India in 1897. He was in Madras. If you read his lectures from Colombo to Almora, you will find what he was doing. He was trying to revive the Hindu religion, the regeneration of India. His lecture in South India, he said, "Friends, I am very much pleased with your enthusiasm in Madras. It is marvelous, only make it permanent. Keep it up. Let not the fire die out. We want to work out great things in India. After arriving in Calcutta, Swamiji decided to implement the mission of Ramakrishna. What did he do? On 1st May 1897, at Balaram's house in North Calcutta, Swamiji called all his brother disciples and the devotees and the household disciples, devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, and established this Ramakrishna mission. This is the book. I edited it. Ramakrishna Mission Odhiveshwaner Itivritta. Every Sunday, there was a meeting in Balaram's house. The disciples and the devotees would recount their reminiscences of Sri Ramakrishna. They used to talk about various scriptures. They used to talk about spiritual life. So those things, those meetings, the minute book was with me, so I copied, and then this book has come out. Our President Maharaj released this book on the 1st May at Belur Math in big meeting. Anyhow, good things, otherwise it would be lost. It is in a minute book, handwriting, it was in my room. Anyhow, what did Swamiji say? From my travels in various countries, I have come to the conclusion that without organization, nothing great and permanent can be done. This association will bear the name of him in whose name we have become sannyasis, monks, taking whom as your ideal, you are leading the life of the householders in the field of activity of this samsara world, and whose holy name and the influence of whose unique life and teachings have, within 12 years of his passing away, spread in such an unthought of way, both in the East and the West. Let this Sangha or organization be therefore named the Ramakrishna Mission. We are only the servants of the Master. May you all help us in this work. That is the way Swamiji gave the introductory talk in that meeting. Look at Buddhism. Buddhism spread after 250 years after Buddha's passing away, during the time of Emperor Ashoka. Christianity went to England. At that time, Europe was jungle. Gaul, they used to call the Germany. It was England, 597 AD, nearly after 600 years of Jesus' passing away or resurrection, the Christianity went to England. The 600 years. Look at Sri Ramakrishna's mission. 86, he passed away, and then 93, his ideas, his thoughts came to America. Within 7 years, Swamiji mentioned in one place, Ramakrishna's thoughts, ideas encircled the globe. That is the greatest statement. If Swamiji here 10 years, 12 years, actually within 7 years, Ramakrishna's ideas encircled the globe. Just to tell you the history a little bit. Truth does not flow easily. First it gets criticism, apathy, let him speak. Indifference. You see, atheists, agnostics are not the enemies of religion. The enemies of the religion are the people, those who have apathy, that does not care. That is the indifference. Indifference, that is the enemy of religion. Then people ignore. When a new thing comes in the society, people ignore. Then the conservative people oppose. There are three types of people in the world. We know in American politics: liberal, moderate, conservative. Conservative, middle, moderate, and liberal. So Sri Ramakrishna's disciples had two conservative, Swami Yogananda and Swami Adbhutananda. They opposed. Very interesting. Swami Yogananda says, you are doing these things by Western methods. Would you say that Sri Ramakrishna let us any such instructions? That's it. You have come to America and then you have introduced all these ideas of Ramakrishna, of your thoughts, Western thoughts in our mission. Did Ramakrishna say that we'll have to form an organization, this, that, and all these activities? Look what Swamiji answered. How do you know that these methods are not keeping with these ideas? Sri Ramakrishna was the embodiment of infinite ideas. Do you want to shut him up in your own limits? I shall break these limits and scatter his ideas, broadcast all over the world. Then he went on and on. Blessed we are that we have found the refuge at the feet of our Master. It is our duty to give this idea entrusted to us freely to the whole world. Freely we receive, freely we give, that's Swamiji is talking about. Then he going on that, by his grace, how I went through my life in the East and the West. Then Yogananda come down and says, whatever you will shall come about. We are always ready to follow your leading, because Sri Ramakrishna made him the leader. I clearly see the Master is working through you. Still, I confess, doubts do sometimes arise in the mind. But we have never seen these things which you are talking about in Ramakrishna's life, that he is talking about. Then Swami Adbhutananda, Swamiji silenced him. Yogananda was quiet next. Then Latu Maharaj, he was a Nwara Brahman, illiterate, but he is very outspoken. He told Swamiji, brother, why have you started all these activities? Won't this interfere with our meditation and prayer? He is right. Activities too much, it disturbs meditation. Swamiji was very fond of this disciple. He said, how can we understand why I am introducing all these works? You are a dumbbell, fool. At the sound of Ka, you shed tears like Prahlada. Ka means Krishna, immediately Prahlada used to cry. You are all devotees. What can you understand this? You can only whine like babies. You think you can achieve liberation by crying, and that on the last day, the Master will take you to heaven, and there you will enjoy to your heart's content. Swamiji pounded on him. Then one of the other disciples made a comment. Do you know what Swamiji said? Do you know? The thing you were talking about, I wanted that thing from Sri Ramakrishna. I wanted to be immersed in Samadhi. And time to time I shall come and eat a little food, again go into Samadhi. The thing which you are talking to me, I wanted that. But do you know what happened? Master scolded me. You were selfish, fie on you, shame on you. I thought you will be a huge banyan tree, under your shade people will get peace, rest. And you are seeking your own liberation. You are selfish. I got a scolding from the Master. Just when you reach Swamiji, watch what he is doing. I got a scolding, the thing which you are asking me, that have this. I wanted that, but Master said no. Then Swami's voice choked, he left the room, he cried, then he came, then all brother disciples silenced. Next day, Swami Lathu Maharaj apologized, brother, what do I know? I am a fool. Please do not take my words to heart. Afterwards, as the record goes, no disciple said anything about Ramakrishna mission, which was started by Swamiji. All accepted. Then Swamiji wanted to evaluate it from the householder disciples. He went to Girish's house and said, you see, you know, sometimes so many ideas, thoughts come and think, I shall do some activity, I want to uplift this poor and this whole Indian people, you know. See, but that is the reason I started this Ramakrishna mission. What do you think about it? Girish said, what can I say to this? You are the instrument in his hand. You have to do just what he would have you to do. I don't trouble myself over the detail, but I see that the power of the Lord is getting things done by you. I see it clear as daylight. Then Swamiji evaluated his idea of Ramakrishna mission from Nag Mahasaya, another great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. And he said, I do not know why I am starting this Ramakrishna mission. What do you think about it? Nag Mahasaya said, I am an insignificant being. What do I understand? Whatever you do, I know for certainty, will conduce to the well-being of the world. Who will understand you? Who will understand? If you don't open our divine vision, there is no way to recognize you. Only Thakur could recognize you. All others just believed in his words. Nobody understood you. He remembered, Swamiji was like a Lord Shiva. His will cannot be stopped, cannot be opposed. He is Satya Sankara. His life is established on truth. As he says, he was born with the heart of Buddha. Your will and his and Ramakrishna's will have become one. Whatever is your will is his. Glory to Ramakrishna. Bas. I wrote a comment. Pothikrite Ralankar Lokoninda. Condemnation, opposition, criticism are the ornaments of a pioneer. When one hears a little criticism, one gets confused and upset. The more the flow of a river is obstructed, the more it gains force. So also, the more obstacles Swamiji faced, the more his inner strength was awakened. After listening up to criticism, he would say, when a new idea is propagated in the land, the conservatives unite against it. This is the law of nature. Every founder of a world religion has had to pass this test. He used to say, without persecution, no beneficent idea can penetrate into the heart of a society. Therefore, Swamiji believed that society's sharp sarcasm and criticism were aids to his preaching work, and he would never protest against them or allow his lay or monastic members to do so. He would say to everyone, go on working without an eye to results. One day you are sure to reap the fruits to it. When new ideas come to the society, we know, if you go to the capital, you know how American laws come. Somebody wanted to start a law. Oh, some people, the conservative people oppose it. This is the law. But if you know this is the truth, you will have to withstand it. And then it will prevail. Upanishad says, Satyameva jayate na nirtam. Truth alone prevails, not untruth. What next? Buddha, after realizing Nirvana, came to Saranath. He says, Dharma chakra pravurtishe lokeshu aprativortitam. The society is stagnant. Religion is almost dead. I brought a new religion to you all. Listen. I have eightfold path of religion. Ashtangik margo. This wheel, Dharma Chakra, I introduced this kind of wheel of Dharma has never come into existence, Buddha says. Let us grip our shoulders and move this chakra. Then again the religion will flow. It will uplift the society. That is a great statement of Buddha. Great statement. So, Ramakrishna Mission, this Dharma Chakra, the religion, Ramakrishna Mission, Swamiji started, began to flow. The first scene comes to my mind is Swami Akhandananda was in Murshidabad. It was in 1897. There was a drought, and it is famine. Many people are dying, no food, very bad situation. So he was traveling in Murshidabad, it is 100 miles north from Calcutta. And I visualize a 14 years old Muslim girl crying on the street with a broken pitcher. Seeing this monk, this girl said, Baba, Father, we are very poor, we have no food. We have only 2 earthen cooking pots and 1 pitcher for carrying water at home. So I went to bring home water, but the bottom part of the pitcher broke and fell. So the half of the pitcher under her arm, she was crying, fearing that her mother will beat her. My mother will beat me. I broke the pitcher. Swami Akhandananda had only 4 annas in his pocket. So he spent 2 pice, half anna, and bought a pitcher to the girl, and another 2 pice he bought some puff rice and some sweets and gave to this girl to eat. Immediately another 10, 15 boys and girls encircled. Baba, Father, we do not have any food, feed us. So he gave the 3 annas to the shopkeeper and said, please feed the children. He had no money. He thought, I shall not stay here. I cannot bear to see the suffering of the people. He was about to leave. Then what happened? Another middle-aged woman stopped him. Father, Goya Vaishnavi is dying. Please help. An elderly woman was dying. Well, what can I do? I have no money. So he went to a neighbor, his name is Jibun Krishna Saha, and asked him, please provide some food to this woman. He agreed. Then he went to see that woman and found that woman has diarrhea and his whole body was full of filth. The Swami asked that woman, could you bring a pitcher of water? We must wash her, and a napkin. Well, Father, that I shall do. And it is mud hut. They put some cow dung and mud and they will clean it, they cover it, all these things, They first wash it and they in this country you do not have that thing. So he took care of that woman. I'm just telling you how Ramakrishna mission started by direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. Then came plague in 1898. Swami Chetanananda Nivedita started plague relief in Calcutta, brooming the Calcutta street. Boil the water, clean yourself. That is the way Swamiji wrote an appeal also for the plague relief. Then Ramakrishna mission. Swami Vivekananda started 3 magazines to carry Sri Ramakrishna's mission: Brahmavadin, Prabuddha Bharata, and Udbodhan. Then, wherever there is natural calamities, Ramakrishna mission, immediately Ramakrishna mission goes there. Then Swami Ramakrishnananda went in April 1897 in the south, carried Sri Ramakrishna's mission. Poverty, one scene I shall never forget. That day there was no food. And it was I think in Castle Carnan, very close to the seacoast of Madras. He went to the shrine and shouted to Sri Ramakrishna, Master, no food. I shall go and bring some sand from the shore of the Bay of Bengal, and that I shall offer to you. And that sand I shall eat. What a poverty. Luckily, some Jabutis brought some food that day. This is the way Ramakrishna mission continued. Then in Banaras, we find three young men read Swamiji's articles, Shakharpati. They are inspired. They found a woman, sometimes some old people go to Banaras for pilgrimage and they die, and some people exploit them, take away their money. So a woman was dying on the sidewalk. These young men carried that woman, cleaned her, Ramakrishna mission started with 4 annas. They bought some water, milk, and fed that woman and nursed, and slowly we find Ramakrishna mission home of service. Huge hospital in Banaras. Started with 4 annas with an old sick woman. Ramakrishna mission continued. What is the philosophy behind the social service of the Ramakrishna mission? According to Vedanta, each individual being is God. Jiva brahmaiva napara. Each individual being is God. So service is practiced in all religions, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, all religions. But they are all that attitude, jivedaya, compassion to the people. They do not consider human beings as God. Ramakrishna mission monks are not social workers. They are worshippers of living God. Swami Vivekananda's Living God poem, if you read, you will find that God dwells in all. Each human body is the tabernacle, temple of God, and God inside is God Himself. So serving God, you are serving human beings, you are serving God. Now I shall tell you a story. Rajendranath Ghosh, the philosophy behind Sri Ramakrishna mission. He was a great scholar. I have his volumes of books. Ramanuja Shankara, Shankar Granthavali. He was a fantastic scholar. He could not reconcile that Ramakrishna monks took the vows, I am renouncing everything of this world. I am renouncing everything is in the mid-region. I am renouncing everything of the heaven. After renouncing everything, how these monks could be involved in the activities? Monks, no karma, nishkarma siddhi, live in the actionless state. That is the story. Then do you know what happened? This gentleman, he must be in her late 60s or 70s, I do not know. So he went to Rishikesh, Sargashram, where Swami, I shall not tell the details of the story, I shall tell you in a brief way. He met Swami Premeshananda, a disciple of Holy Mother, a very great, great soul. I met him once. So, what is the matter? Why are you here? Then he told his dilemma, his problem. How is it possible? Swami said, first you go take a bath in the Ganges. And he had 2 pieces of bread and a little milk. First eat, then we shall talk. So these 2 persons, both are very learned, were talking about Mahavakya, the great Vedic dictums of the 4 Vedas. What do you think? Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. When you close your eyes, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. And when you open your eyes, what do you say? Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. You are Brahman, you are Brahman. So you are Brahman, I am Brahman. Correct? No problem? No. Do you know what? This portion is so, I cannot resist it to tell you. He said, Abhinna, both are the same. Let me tell you one thing. I am very sick. Then shall I not be Brahman if I be sick? At that time, if you give me a little water, if you give me a little food, and if you fan him, if you fan me, is it not serving Brahman? You said I am Brahman, I am Brahman. You accepted it. Now I am very sick. If you give me a little water and if you fan him, are you not serving Brahman? Otherwise, if you think that, oh, if I serve you, then I will be entangled in the activities, oh, I will be bound. So, leaving the Brahman, will you leave me? Will you leave me at that time, when I am suffering in that condition? Sri Ramakrishna taught us that. Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. Serve human beings as God. His Vedic Jiktam. His words are Aham Brahmasmi, Jatra Jeev, Tatra Shiv. Where there is human beings, that each human being is God. Swamiji also taught the same thing. Bas, those words created a magic. Immediately that says, you cleared my mind, all my doubts are gone. I want to take sannyas. Then he says, please go to Swami Virajananda. He is the president of the order. He will give you sannyas. And it was in which year he got sannyas? In 1940. Swami Virajananda gave him sannyas. He became Chief Ghanananda Puri and he stayed in Banaras and died. This story penetrated in the minds of monks. You are Brahman, if you are sick, if I serve you, is there anything wrong? Will it bind me from the karma? That is the philosophy of the activities of the Ramakrishna mission. Last 125 years, Ramakrishna mission has spread. The man is no more, Romarola wrote. But his spirit began to flow in the veins of humanity, in the collective veins of humanity. That's a beautiful line. The man is no more, but his spirit began to flow in the veins of collective humanity. Next, Ramakrishna's 5 disciples came to America. Ramakrishna mission spread. Swamiji himself spread 2 centers in America. In 1894, Vedanta Society in New York. In 1900, Vedanta Society of San Francisco. Then came the next generation. Holy Mother's disciples, Vivekananda's disciples, Brahmananda's disciples, they spread in America, in Europe, in various countries, in South America. Ramakrishna mission spread. Vedanta, what did they began to propagate? The Vedanta, the universal, spiritual, practical, sublime, simple, and inspiring teachings of Ramakrishna. Now the Ramakrishna mission and Vedanta movement spread in all 6 continents. Our latest report of Belur Math says that we have 258 centers all over the world. We have nearly 17, 18, or nearly under 2,000 monks. There are 191 centers in India, Bangladesh 26, USA 14, other countries 25. Ramakrishna mission spread, got recognition. All over the world, people know. Those who are in the intellectual or the religious movement know the history. Not only that, in 1964, Carl Thomas Jackson got PhD on writing Swamis in America. Swamis in America. Huge volume. I have the printed thesis of that book. I paid $32. I bought from the UCLA. Swamis in America. The Ramakrishna movement entered into the American history. Not only that, in 1976, the bicentennial of the American independence, There was a big exhibition in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian Institution. I went there in 1976. There's a big pavilion. You see, a Smithsonian Institution is direct under the federal government. Its head is the Vice President of the United States of America. The Smithsonian, most prestigious institution in this country, the Smithsonian. So they made the pavilion abroad in America. A big volume they published. I bought that volume. It is in my collection. What did they do? Each pavilion says that these are the 26 or 29 foreigners came to America and contributed to American heritage. Vivekananda is one of them. I'm just telling you the history. I saw that exhibition. Swami, in 1957, Swami Gambhirananda wrote History of the Ramakrishna Mission and asked Christopher Isharuj to write the foreword. So Isharuj wrote, the Ramakrishna movement is unique because its founder was unique. Very beautiful sentence. Spiritual truth is eternal, but it has to be restated and redemonstrated in a human life in order that it may solve the varying problems of each succeeding epoch. Ramakrishna's teachings is our modern gospel. Ramakrishna Mission is a great organization. This morning, do you know what I was thinking? It is just like an edifice, a big building. These monks are all carrying the message of Sri Ramakrishna. Each one of them. Sri Ramakrishna's life, his teachings, will bring peace, happiness and harmony in this world. Thank you. Prayena deva munaya swabimukti kama maunam charanti vijane na parartha nishtaha naitan vihayo kripanan vimuksho eko nainam tvadaisya saranam brahmato nupasye, from the Bhagavatam. O Lord, generally the sages observe silence and practice other spiritual disciplines in solitude with a view to attaining their own liberation. They do not share the result of their spiritual disciplines with others. But I have no desire to be free, shunning my poor companions. Truly, I do not find any person except you who can save these souls. Pray, Lord, save the suffering souls of the world. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.